Hello again, Dan Alasso with History for Today, and I have just installed Obsidian Mobile, the beta for the iPhone and the iPad. And although I've been aware of this for a while, I did this as a result of a Twitter DM that I got from Stan Waring, directing me to a YouTube video by Civ showing how he was using the Obsidian mobile app on his iPhone. And that got me excited. So with a little bit of help from the Discord community, thank you very much, I figured out how to get my hands on the beta and I installed it. So I actually typed the script to this on my iPad this morning, rather than sitting down at my computer. And now I have to admit that I am super spoiled. I have a computer in my bedroom, I have one in my office, in the garage here, and I have yet another one at my office at work. In addition, I have a notebook and an iPad and a phone. So on the one hand, I am aware that this is a complete luxury to have all of these different opportunities to interact with information and to create my own content. On the other hand, this is why Obsidian Mobile is going to be so useful to me and is going to make the Obsidian experience really an order of magnitude better for me. It makes me just a little bit more platform independent, and it will also reduce the number of steps in my process, which will speed things up for me tremendously, and I think will increase my throughput. In the past, for example, I have listened to audiobooks and occasionally to podcasts while walking. I do about 5 miles a day, so there's an hour and a quarter to an hour and a half of listening, at least, depending on how fast I go. I also typically listen while I'm driving, and frequently also while I'm gardening, mowing the lawn, etc. We have a lot of lawn here. I listen at between 1.7 and 2 times normal speed, so I can actually get through books fairly quickly. My typical habit has been to stop and to hit the clip and bookmark button when I hear something that I want to return to, and then add a quick note using the dictation feature. This works pretty well, and I accumulate a pile of little notes and bookmarks so I can go back later on in the Audible app and find the spot in the print or the Kindle version of the book, or sometimes just listen to it again, highlight, comment, etc. So in that way, the thing that interested me can be captured and can ultimately become part of my notes in Obsidian. I have a similar process for podcasts, but it involves the voice memo app that comes standard with my iPhone. The thing about this process is that as good as it is, it involves a number of steps. Currently, I have a bunch of notes attached to a bunch of different audiobooks that I haven't finished yet. Now, I suppose I could take a few minutes and transcribe them whenever I return from a walk or another activity, but that's not always convenient. And the Audible app, I've got to say, is not quite the same on the desktop as it is on the phone. So I can't just go in and grab the notes wherever I may be. It's a manual process that involves having the phone and the computer. Kindle is similarly kind of non-intuitive for me. The desktop and the mobile versions are not quite seamless. And although maybe that's just an issue for me personally, I'm very excited that I will now be able to have Obsidian on my phone also, and be able to dictate the beginning of a note directly into it. Then I'll have something that I can expand on when I get back to my desk. Playing with it so far for less than 24 hours, it's a little bit disappointing to me that I can't do more yet with the graph view. I'd like to be able to navigate around inside it and examine the links, but I imagine that'll be coming in the future. When it does, I can imagine using my iPad to sort of tend to my notes, fill in empty notes, etc. There's a lot of tending in this metaphorical garden that I could do in less formal settings, like while I'm waiting for somebody, waiting for something to start, half listening to the news, relaxing, etc. Having the vault accessible to me on the iPad will make that much more likely to happen in those little interstitial moments. It's also possible to run Obsidian Mobile side by side with the PDF reader in Zotero or with Kindle in a split screen. So I can even make notes out of my highlights using the iPad. Again, this expands my opportunity to do this to all the times when I might be sitting with my iPad, relaxing and reading a book, or sitting up in bed late at night, whatever, rather than actually being at my desk. Now, there's a whole bar full of tools at the bottom of the mobile screen. And some of these will probably be more useful on the iPhone than they will on the iPad, where I actually do have a keyboard attached. So I'll play around with them and I'll think about how they might fit into my workflow. In the meantime, I'm going to start using Obsidian to capture many more of my thoughts, or what people generally call fleeting notes, directly into the app. I'm creating a tag called #fleet that I can use to designate these thoughts that I need to return to when I get back to the office. I don't know for sure, but I suspect that this is going to result in much more content finding its way into my inbox and getting processed. And I'll let you know how that goes. But in the meantime, I wanted to let you know that I've done this and it looks very exciting at the outset, and I'm looking forward to really digging into it. So I hope people found that a little bit interesting. Thanks very much for listening, and I will see you again